guys, welcome back to my channel if this is your second time joining, and welcome to all the newbies. Welcome. My name is Tumi and I am a very happy YouTuber, booktuber. Oh god, we need to get used to saying this word, booktuber. So in today's video we are going to do the 2021 TBR, right? Because we all have goals in the beginning of the year that we set for ourselves. And I've watched other people's TBRs and I'm like, oh, I should be ashamed of myself because y'all have like lots of books that you want to read. Jesus Christ, where are you getting all this time? Drop a comment there and let a girl know how you guys manage to read all of these books. Because okay, maybe it's because I read a lot in my work. So anyway, let's not get into that, okay? But y'all's TBRs, very intimidating. Mine, quite simple. I think I've got like 6 books on my TBR, or 7 at most, you know? But yeah, I hope I read more. Definitely I got like 7, and I think that's a more realistic goal for me personally, right? So no, I think also because when I had a lot of fiction books on my TBR, yes, I could read a lot more because it's easier for me to read fiction. I read fiction much faster. Non-fiction, sometimes I go over the sections. I really want to understand more of what I'm reading, so I could read literally a chapter twice. So I think that's also the thing that delays my reading. Anyway, so the first book on my 2021 TBR to be read is this book, the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, or his government name Timothy Ferriss. So my husband and I actually bought this book, I think 2 weeks ago. So this is like the end of Jan, so it would have been 2 weeks ago in January, right? And it was actually my husband's choice. It was like, I think we really need to look at just how we can live our lives better, and do better in our lives. So let's read a different type of book. So this is what we got for our January sort of book purchase. I've already started the book, and so far I'm loving it. So in this book, Tim Ferriss is talking about like the new rich, this new lifestyle about the new rich. If you don't know, go Google it. But it's like this new lifestyle of the new rich where you're not chasing the 40-50 years in formal employment, so you're taking, like, you're living your life according to your own terms. So he uses the term the new rich, where your time is your own. And so far I'm really loving it. And also it's good to read it as an entrepreneur, but also as an employee. And it just teaches you how to maximize your time and use your time much better. And just the way you approach your life, instead of being so fearful of doing things, just go out there and do things so that you can live this new lifestyle of the new rich. This lifestyle is not necessarily about riches like wealth, coins, millions, billions in your account. I mean, that of course is always the goal, but it's also just rich in your time and rich in just the adventures and life experiences that you have, so I love this book for that. And then the fiction book that I have, this is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So if you know me, and you'll get to really pick this up as I continue with my booktube, that I am such a big fan of this man, guys. Like, I know The Alchemist is the biggest book for him. This is not even my favorite book, but I love it. I just, in the beginning of the year, I like to read his books to reset my mind and to just help me as I journey into like a new year. Usually in the beginning of the year, or like in the last quarter of the previous year, I'm usually going through transitions or looking at like what's new in my life, approach New Year in a different way. So I'm going to read The Alchemist. Most of us know The Alchemist. So this would be probably, sorry, my camera keeps moving because it's on the table and I keep bumping the table. So I apologize. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so this what was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, so most of us know The Alchemist. It is just one of those books that talks to going after your dream. So it's very much aligned with this book, right? So it's about going after your dream, listening to your inner voice, and just stop listening to the fear, because you do have a few inner voices, right? Like me, I've always had like my imaginary friends, my imaginary parents. Anyway, so you do have a few inner voices. So there's one that is a very fearful one. Don't listen to that, But this one is about listening to that inner voice that's telling you to follow your dream and just literally go out there and experience life. Hence, I'm reading these two in conjunction. Jesus Christ, pronouncing some of these words after you've just had a very long day, right? And then my third book is The State of Africa by Martin Meredith. So I started this book last year in 2020, and I was very, very excited, and I was really, really reading this book a lot. But I was, like I said in my previous video, I was pregnant last year. So when I started in the beginning of the year, I was still in the very early stages of my pregnancy. So I had all the energy. Child, I didn't finish this book. I'm proud to say I finished part 1. There are 6 parts. So I finished part 1 and I'll do a review of part 1. So I'm busy battling to make sure that I read this book. You see why my TBR is short, guys. But these are not the only 3 books that on my TBR. But you see why? Because this, for me, is a big book. This is like 6 books in one. For me, personally. Don't judge me. I see you. I see you. Hey, Suzanne. Don't judge. Okay, so anyway, this is a history about Africa, and we're looking at how African states gained independence. So I'm really enjoying this book. It leaves me, so as an African, you obviously know like your history or the history of your continent. Some are very fortunate to know the history of the entire continent. Others, you may know just the history of your own country. So just the exposure and learning about different countries and how we as Africans gained independence. Guys, African literature, that is the non-fiction book to read. Yeah, so that's that. So I'm reading this book. I'm gonna finish this book. Can somebody hold me accountable? Okay, this channel is gonna hold me accountable. By the way, drop a comment down there. If you have read any of these books, if any of these books are on your TBR, that sort of thing. And then the next category of books that are on my TBR I don't own, right? So these are the books that I'm going to spoil myself with, or somebody is going to spoil me, okay? So if you're looking to buy me a present, yeah, so these are the books that are on my TBR. So the first one is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Okay, let me start off with this. I've got 2 books by the Obamas, right? So we all know that former president, our brother Barack Obama, has also released a book. So I've got his book, Promised Land, and I've got Michelle's book, Becoming. Right, so I'm very excited about reading these books. So Barack's book, Mr. Obama. In South Africa, we'd call him Bra Barack, right? Yeah, Brabiza. So anyway, Barack's book talks really about, it's more of his presidential memoirs and just how he got into politics. So we we follow him, right? So I've never read any of his other books, so this would be my first one. But we follow him for just like his early political days, and then we look at the 2008 elections and him ultimately being sworn in as the 44th president of the United States, the first African American president. I'm looking forward to reading those because for me, that was my first time, or that was my first experience following elections so rigorously. I remember I was in university, and this was my first year in varsity, and we did not sleep even here in South Africa because yeah, the announcement was made in the evening, your time, America, and then our time was like very, very late at night. So no, early in the morning. It was very early in the morning. So yeah, I'm really keen to read about that. And then we've got Michelle's book, Becoming. Wouldn't you just love to hear the story of how do you become a first lady? But this book apparently takes us back, for where she comes from, just how she got into this life and becoming the first lady, but also her career. So it's really interesting for me that I'll be finding out so much about Michelle Obama. And I hope she talks more about her fashion sense in there. I love, 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 love her style. But I'm so excited to read about Michelle as a mom, yeah, I think a lot of us is so like, oh, mommy, like, she has that, so I'm really excited to read those two books. And then the other book that's on my TBR is Becoming Iman by Iman Rapeti. So for those of you who don't know, Iman Rapeti is a South African broadcaster. I am a huge, huge fan. Like, if there was the Iman Rapeti fan club, I think I would be the president of that fan club. Shout out, Iman. So yeah, so I'm very excited to read that book. I really just want to. I've met Iman before, and she is just such a lovely person, but such an intelligent person as well. I like intelligent people. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to reading her life story, and just like, when you know somebody through the airwaves and you feel like you know them because you listen to them every morning, and it's like, yeah, you laugh with them about things and you're like, I know, right? I can relate. Yeah. So I'm very excited to read about Iman's book. And then I've got the last book on my TBR, and this was very careless of me. I forgot to Google the name before I started recording here, but I'll put it down here with the book. It is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yes, it's an old book, but I want to read it. It's all aligned. Guys, yo, I'm so sorry, guys. I kicked it again. My camera died because your great auntie Tumi here forgot to plug in the charger as I was rambling, right? So I think I was just talking about the last book that's on my TBR, and it is indeed 7 books. That 7th book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I think I'm just gonna go and take the biblical I had the word in my head, ne? What is it? The biblical. I'll remember it. If I remember it, I'll put it in there. Y'all remember it, put it in the comments, right? But that's just the biblical what, and say 7 is like a whole number. I'm gonna go with the biblical translation, and just, yeah, 7 books. Yeah, that's it for me. That's my TBR in 2021. If by some miracle, right? Miracle, because there can be miracles when you believe. If I do finish those 7 books before the year and I'm able to add more, I will add more. But if not, child mommy is just gonna drink her tea. It's that same concoction of chamomile tea, mint leaves, and and lemon. Yeah, and I'm just gonna carry on. Yeah, but thank you guys so much, because now I'm getting into like rambling. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know, guys. Let's chat in those comments, whatever you want to tell me about these books, about yourself, about me. You know, we're all bookish friends here. You know, so let's just comment down in the comments section, and we will meet up there. Yeah, I'm really just a happy booktuber, and now I'm just an exhausted booktuber because I've been talking. I'm going back to read my books so that I have, you know, some sort of ticks. Not those ticks like the but ticks. Ticks. Okay, bye guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share, and do all of those nice things. I will see you in my next video. Ta-da!